Hello, Dental Team listeners. This is Kiera, and I hope you are just having an incredible day today. I hope you are so jazzed and you are so excited about dentistry because I'm excited about dentistry. You don't call us the Dental A team for nothing. Our job is to help you and your practice become the A team of dental offices. Honestly, I love this. I love what we do. I love talking to you. I love helping you and your team just become everything and more that you've ever hoped to be. So today, I hope you are ready. I just did a really incredible team training with an office about case acceptance. And I realized, hey, maybe that's something where I can help you in your practice. I love doing this with teams. I have a couple practices where I help their treatment coordinators, and we've actually been able to add multiple millions. And that's not an exaggeration, multiple millions to their practice. And the thing that I just love is when we increase our case acceptance from doctors and team members, we're able to help more patients. And that's what I tell everyone. We are so blessed and so lucky to be able to be treatment coordinator masters and to be able to help more patients and to give patients this incredible life, to be able to give them the confidence, to be able to give them the smile, to be able to help their longevity. And I always enjoy hearing the objections. So it's a fun time. So we'll do a part one, part two of this podcast where I'll kind of break down case acceptance for you of kind of how I get team members into this mindset. And then what I'll do part two of all the objections and how you can overcome objections in treatment planning. I think one of our greatest wins was when I had an office who literally was able to sell an electric toothbrush, which we all know is better than just a standard one, to an Amish family. I was blown away. And it was because this treatment coordinator was able to provide so much value of what this patient actually needed and to help them have the best dental health. And I love treatment planning and case acceptance so much because to me, it's helping more patients have healthier smiles, healthier mouths. And I just think it's one of the greatest gifts that we could ever give our patients and our team. So I hope you're excited. I'll break it down for you in a couple simple steps. These are some of the things that I do to get treatment coordinators and doctors in the right frame of mind. Because what I found is case acceptance is truly 80% your psychology and what you're thinking and 20% skill. So I'll give you both, but really just wanting to break it down for you that so much of case acceptance is about literally what you're thinking about. If you're new to the Dental Team podcast, welcome. I'm Kiera Dent. I'm your host. I love all things dental, and so much so that my last name is actually Dent. I created the Dental Team Consulting years ago when I left Midwestern University's dental college, working with so many of those dental students. Shout out to all of them. And realizing those students that I loved so much were going to go out into this big, bright world of dentistry, and they were going to need an advocate, someone who could vet companies for them, someone who could help guide them, someone who could help them understand what a P&L was, understanding what cash flow was, understanding the business aspect and the team aspect of dentistry. And that's how Dental Team was born. So my first practice, we took from 500,000 to 2.4 million in 9 months and opened our second location. Dental Team is a miracle grow for practices. We're able to increase your production, decrease your overhead, and honestly decrease your stress and get a full doctor team experience. So that way, doctors, you don't just have to do this on your own. So that's a little bit about what Dental Team's about. If you are part of our actual consulting dental family, welcome. I love you. I'm so grateful for you. It is truly one of the highlights of my entire life is watching offices succeed. Like we shout out office wins every single day in our team huddle. And when I hear offices who have broken 1 million or hit 100,000 for the first time or took home a paycheck for the first time or got their team on board for the first time, literally I light up, our team lights up because that's what we do. Our consultants are truly experts at what we do. And we truly do love seeing your wins. Our tagline is your success and our passion. So our passion is seeing you successful. Our love of dentistry is being able to make sure you and your team are truly flourishing to help those patients get the best dentistry they can. So with that, setting up case acceptance is what I promised you were going to come in part one of part two. And like I said, we do this with teams. It's something really, I would say fulfilling for me to actually teach your teams how to present cases, how to help them. Like I said, I literally have a practice. We've got 5 offices and we have added multiple millions of dollars to their practices over the years of just working with their treatment coordinators and doctors. And it's funny, they have another person who watches their business and they said, what's happened? How have you guys grown so much? And they said, it all started when we hired the dental aid team. And just shout out to that practice and that owner and those owners of those locations, because honestly, they don't just listen, but they actually execute and they implement, and we work on it and we listen to their treatment plans and we review. And What I will tell you, one of my biggest secrets for it is it's usually one or two words that's making or breaking your case acceptance. And I hope you heard that. It's one or two words that's actually making or breaking patients saying yes or no to you. So that's where it's so fun. So, okay, step one that I always like to tell people is, like I said, 80% psychology, 20% skill. So what you've got to do is you've got to literally be in the right mindset before you go in. So doctors, before you go in and present an exam, team members, before we go and talk about it, before we hand things off, treatment coordinators, before you even think about presenting a treatment plan, I want you to have the right frame of mind. Kiera Dent's frame of mind is everyone says yes to me and there's always a solution. That's my mantra. That's what I say. That's what I think about. And this is when I used to not even be able to close $500 cases. I went from closing $500 cases all the way up to closing $50, $60, $70, $80,000 cases same day. I literally had no idea a credit card could go up to $80,000. I was like, whoa, we're buying a boat today. Like, I didn't even know this was reality. But what I learned was it was my psychology. It was me realizing that this was not a big treatment plan. It's just a treatment plan. So that's the second step to this of we actually cut out the emotion of it's not a big treatment plan. And what I love to do is I love to ask you right now to tell me, and you can say this out loud. I know I'm not actually listening, but hopefully you're playing along with me today. It actually will make this really real for you. But what is the number for you that's your actual high dollar treatment plan? If I were to say, what's a big treatment plan for you? What's your number? Some people it's 1,000, some people it's 5,000, 10,000, $400. What is your number? I need you to tell me your number and do not sugarcoat to me. Don't go higher. Don't go lower. If you're listening to this as a team, which, hey, that's a great idea. This is a great team training. You're getting it with me for free. But what is the number? And the reason I want to know this number is because no matter what you're doing, guess what? That number actually is influencing you. And what I say is there's no judgment on treatment planning. I just need to know, and you need to know what your number is. So then we actually figure out where your ceiling is and how to go around it. When I start working with treatment coordinators, I usually say that I can typically tell when I look at a treatment tracker on a treatment coordinator what they're closing, and it's usually close to what's in their bank account. Dun, 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 mic drop right there. The reason why is because we have this familiarity association where we think people are just like us. And so I hear all the time of like, but Kiera, I couldn't afford that. Or Kiera, I could afford that. Or Kiera, like, that's like, it would be so hard for me as a parent to do this. And what we do is we try to put ourselves in other people's shoes, AKA empathy. But what we do on that is we actually close down a lot of cases that could be yeses because people are not just like us. Like I said, I didn't even know credit cards at the time could go up to $80,000. I had no idea. And had I assumed or projected or tried to be familiar with these patients, I would never have been able to close those cases. So what we want to look at in these situations is we've got to cut the emotion. We've got to realize this is my ceiling and I'm going to get beyond that ceiling. Doctors, you have the same thing. You might walk into a room and you might think, oh my gosh, this patient's going to think I'm buying my boat or they're paying for this. Whatever you're thinking about, patients actually pick up that energy vibe from you. And I know this sounds like woo-woo, but I will tell you, I have taught so many people how to close cases and I'm freaking good at closing cases. Like I literally can walk into offices. I still test my skills when I walk into a practice because I really want to make sure that what I'm teaching you is actually still working, and it is. I have done it so many times successfully. So pick this up. We've got to cut the emotion, and it's just a treatment plan. So I never, ever, 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 ever want to hear you ever again say, oh my gosh, it's a big treatment plan. Because what you do is you amp yourself up and you get all this energy behind it unnecessarily, and then you actually get like skittish and nervous, and the patient feels that. I want to remind you, patients are not buying treatment plans. They're buying your confidence and a dream of their future life. So what I like to do is then next, figure out what kind of motivator this patient has. Is it cosmetic, function, cost, or longevity? I also found with treatment planning, sequence matters. So notice I said, is it cosmetic, function, cost, or longevity? I did not start with cost. And when I've done this in rooms and I've asked people, and you can ask yourself right now, what is the number one motivator for you in your mouth? You're probably not going to tell me it's cost. Believe it or not, you listen to those four. If you could only choose one, cost could be a portion of it. That's fine. But guess what? If I could say, what is most important about your mouth and your smile? Is it cosmetic, function, cost, or longevity? What would you tell me? And I just sampled a room of probably 50 plus people. And of those 50 plus people, 3 people, it was cost. And the reason I like to highlight this is because we assume and we project, because we want to be familiar and close to these people, that they're just like us. And we think, oh my gosh, it's cost. If I were to sample an entire room of treatment coordinators across the nation, I promise you the number one thing people would tell me as to why they can't close cases is due to, you got it, cost. But when I actually sample people and find out what's truly the most important for people, it's usually like 3% of the room actually cares about cost. So I really, really, really want you to note that, and I want you to see that. The next thing we're going to look at is, okay, now I know, one, it's my psychology. Everyone says yes to me. There's always a solution. And you can have whatever you want. You don't have to say that. But the reason I do that is because guess what? I walk in with pretty strong confidence. This patient is buying my confidence. And I'm going forward knowing I'm going to figure out what motivates this person, and I'm going to be able to help them say yes to this incredible life that they get to have with these teeth. Our teeth are literally the way we eat, talk, communicate, express our emotions, like all of it. It's such an incredible thing for us to do. We've cut the emotion. It's just a treatment plan. And then after that, what we're going to do is we are going to make sure that we're not accidentally closing cases down before they even begin. And I say, don't create a solution to a problem they don't have. So a lot of times treatment coordinators, what they'll do is they'll start to want to associate with this person and anticipate what objection they're going to say so they don't quote unquote get broken up with. You're not about to get broken up with if a patient's silent. They're just thinking through it. So what starts to happen is treatment coordinators and or doctors and team members start to ramble. We start to talk. We start to be like, oh my gosh. And what you end up doing is talking them out of treatment. So we need to also learn the art of silence. So once we present a treatment plan, once we do it, we want to ask them, what questions do you have? I want you to be rock solid, confident moving forward. Notice I'm teaching you sequence matters, putting things in order. What am I focusing on? Same thing when I do a treatment plan. What am I focusing on? Am I focusing on insurance first? Am I focusing on how I want them to feel? Am I telling them, hey, what questions do you have for me? I want you rock solid, confident. I'm telling them moving forward, this is how I want you to feel. What patients will do is they will actually follow through with you. It's going to be something wild for you. And so making sure that we're using language that's going to get our patients going where we want them to go. We're also making sure we're not planting, I call it, weeds in our flower garden. So not accidentally creating solutions to problems they didn't say they had. So it's, hey, so we have financing options. Well, if they didn't say they have a financing issue, why are we offering financing options? Oh, I know, it might be a lot of time. Why are you saying that? If they didn't say it, don't bring it up. Because what you do is you plant seeds. And I've talked about this on the podcast, and I think it's just a really good example. I went to PT one time, and I had really bad knee and hip pain. And the PT was like, oh, I noticed you didn't have insurance. And I was like, yeah, I don't. And she's like, this might be really expensive for you. Thank you. I'm in pain. How many times do I need to come? And she's like, well, I don't know. How many times do you think you could afford it or come in? Girl, you just planted weeds in your flower garden. You just gave me all these objections that I was not even thinking about because you didn't stop talking to listen to me of what I actually said. What I said is, I'm in a lot of pain and I want to get out of pain. You then pick up, Kiera's number one motive is to get out of pain. So, hey, Kiera, the way we're going to be able to get you out of pain is we're going to see you 3 times a month. I'm going to see you for an hour. You're going to do exercises at home, and we're going to get you out of pain in the next 4 months. Fan-freaking-tastic. Now, if I have an objection, I'm like, well, how much is that going to cost? Do you guys do payment plans? Let me bring that up, but pay attention to what your patients want. So these are just going to be a few little things for you. There's so many more things when I teach offices, we need to edify our doctor. We need to tell this patient, oh my gosh, you are so lucky that Dr. Taylor is your doctor. Dr. Taylor is incredible. They're going to take great care of you. They do incredible dentistry. I am so excited for you to get treatment done with them. I have now put this patient on the winning team. They are buying my confidence. They are so excited about it. And treatment coordinators, I will give you a tip. When doctors diagnose, our job is to close. Did you hear that? Doctors, when you diagnose, you should be able to expect and count on your team to close. I feel like when my doctor diagnoses treatment, my job as a treatment coordinator is to get that patient on the schedule, to figure out what their needs are, and to be able to close that patient. So I need to figure out, 1, it's my mindset. 2, I need to make sure that I am not bringing emotion into this treatment plan. 3, I need to make sure that I'm presenting things in a right sequence based on what I'm focusing on to make sure that patient is focusing on the things that I need them to focus on. 4, I need to make sure that I'm not planting any weeds in my flower garden and presenting solutions to problems they don't even have. And 5, I need to make sure that I get this patient on the winning team. Doctors, you can say the same thing. You can present the treatment plan and say, oh my gosh, Kiera is an incredible treatment coordinator. She's going to take great care of you. I know you're going to really love her. I want you to be super confident moving forward. We have told them we want them confident moving forward. We have told them that they're going to move forward. Why on earth would we diagnose treatment, and why on earth would this patient come to the dentist if they don't want to move forward? Riddle me that. Think about that for a second, where I was like, oh my gosh, they're going to be so stressed about insurance and money and teeth and pain. Well, yes, you're going to create that. What you think about is what you create. And I will tell you this over and over and over again. So if you're like, oh, the patients can't afford it, like patients are saying no to me, you keep creating that. Kiera says, everyone says yes to me, and there's always a solution, and we will find it. We will find it. Not I will find it, but me and the patient, we will figure this out. We will find a solution, because I will close cases. Because if I believe in my doctor and I believe in the dentistry that they do, my job is to help this patient get the dentistry that they need done. We can then go into so many different pieces of how we present this, how we talk about this, how we go into objections. Like I said, there will be a part 2 to this podcast. But really the reality is you've got to get this podcast. This one's about, you've got to be in the right freaking mindset before you even think about presenting a treatment plan. And usually we're like, Kiera, tell me how to present the treatment plan. And I'm going to say pause. And I want you to think about the treatment plan you're presenting, but I want you to think about the mindset, the sequence, what you are putting emphasis on, because that's what your patients are responding to. You're like, patients aren't saying yes to me. Well, my question is, what is your sequence? What are you focusing on? What are you thinking about? That might be influencing, and not might, that is influencing what your patients are responding to. So it's wild when I start to get people in this mindset, when I start to help them realize, like, okay, when I walk into the room, doctors, patients love you. They say yes to you when you are diagnosing comprehensive care. Whatever you feel is what this patient's going to respond to. Treatment coordinators, when they come up, it's an A plus B equals C. Fantastic. I'm going to schedule you, present the treatment plan, bada bing, bada boom. We're going to figure out the solutions. Notice I've cut the emotion. This patient's here. I didn't get them here. I didn't not brush their teeth. I did not floss for them. They got themselves here. But the great news is my job is to help you get the great dentistry that's going to really, truly make sure that you are taken care of. And that's what my job is to do. My job is to not like, woe is you. I'm like, make you feel bad about this. My job is to have confidence. My job is to know that no matter what objection this patient gives me, I have a solution for it. And we are going to have a solution together. My job is also to help this patient figure out what their driver is by listening to them, paying attention. Like I said, it's 80% psychology. What is this patient's motivator? What is it that's driving them? Doctors, you can pay attention to this too when you go into the room. Look to see, how do they talk? What do they tell you? What are the things when you emotionally connect with them, when you ask them about their life? What are they telling you? Link your treatment plans back to that. They tell you you've got kids and it's a mom. Reminder, she's worth it. She truly is worth it. If it's an elderly patient, remind them that your body deserves this nutrition. Like, it's so great for you and it does so many things for you, and it deserves that nutrition to truly make sure that you have the best quality of life you can. We can remind our patients of these things. It is an emotional purchase. They are not buying a filling. They are not buying a crown. They are buying the ability to eat. They are buying the ability to smile. They're buying the ability to make memories. They're buying the ability to communicate with confidence. That's what they're buying. And so when you walk into a treatment plan, this is how you become a treatment planning master, a case acceptance like guru. This is how you do it. It's start out with the right mindset. And this is what I get obsessed with, because a lot of times we think we're doing all these pieces and we're not. And so what I want you to realize is the next podcast will be the tactical. And you're like, oh, Kiera, I'm going to like hurry up and listen to that. High five. Thank you for being an avid listener. But number one, get this podcast dialed in first before you listen to the tactical, because if you don't fix your mindset, no matter what tactical piece I give you, you will always continue to get the same results. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. Where your energy flows, your focus goes, and it just goes around and around. So if I'm thinking patients will say no to me, that's going to become my reality. You create your reality. So if you've got patients saying no to you, you are creating it. So what paintbrush strokes do we need to remove? What thoughts do we need to remove? What new thoughts do we need to bring into it? What do I need to drop? I know what my number is of a high treatment plan. I need to drop that, because there are no high treatment plans. There are just treatment plans. There is just dentistry. These are just people that deserve to have healthy mouths, healthy bodies, healthy lives. That's what treatment planning is about. So I'm so jazzed. I hope you took a bunch from this. If you want, we do this with teams. And like I said, you want to believe that I can pay for our consulting in a couple sessions? Here we go. It's really such a beautiful thing. And to help teams become so confident to do this is truly a huge passion of Dental A Team. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know how to do this, I need you to listen to what I'm saying that I don't even realize I'm saying. That's what we're experts in. And I love to do this for teams. I love to help you doctors out with this. So reach out, hello@thedentallyteam.com. Be sure to catch part 2 of this because I'm going to go into tactical on the next one. But promise me, you will get your mindset right to help more patients. It is your moral and ethical obligation. And I hope you take that on seriously. And as always, thanks for listening. And I'll catch you next time on the Dentally Team podcast.